Welcome to Motoring Today, the Philippines' premier and longest-running weekly motoring news and features TV and online magazine. I'm Ray Louis Gamboa.
And I'm Susie Gamboa. Here are this week's features to watch out for.
On Motoring Forum, we shall discuss the Motorcycle for Hire Act passing Congress. Our road safety reminder on the Young Street Smarts portion centers on what to do when one encounters a double solid yellow line road marking. This week's Spying to Pet shall be about illegal practice of most PUV drivers of overloading passengers. The public service segment centers on motorist sentiments on the 10-year driver's license validity. Showcase this week shall have the compact SUV from Maxus, the D60 Pro. While for race weekend, we'll have the highlights of rounds 5 and 6 of the Philippine Rallycross Series.
All these plus the latest news in transportation and traffic management, as well as developments in the automotive industry, are on this week's edition of Motoring Today. Join us.
I think my dad is secretly a superhero. He's the coolest, smartest, strongest person alive. No matter where we go, he always makes sure I feel safe. And he isn't afraid of anything. My dad likes to call that the power to lead. I call it his superpower.
Be part of the 2021-2022 Autofocus People's Choice Awards, the only nationwide poll to determine the country's most popular car brands and models. It's easy. Log on to bit.ly/AFPCA2021, then vote for as many as 5 different models that you believe should become the 2021-2022 Autofocus Automobile of the Year in separate, standard, and premium luxury categories. Vote every day until November 30, 2021. The Autofocus People's Choice Awards. Who will win? You choose, you decide. Vote now.
Mitsubishi Strada athlete, confident to the core.
Suzuki Ertiga.
Life is beating fast. Find what you're waiting for.
Seven-seater in style.
Welcome back to Motoring Today. Here now are the latest news and developments in the country's transportation and traffic management. The MMDA may have found a solution to the problem of opening U-turn slots without hampering EDSA carousel bus operations.
When the DOTR and the MMD established the EDSA carousel with buses given an exclusive lane in the middle of the said thoroughfare, the problem of how to integrate this with the U-turn slots for vehicles arose. Early on, U-turn slots were closed one by one as the EDSA carousel took shape, but when Attorney Benner Abalos took over as MMDA chairman, he began opening some of the U-turn slots anew while relying on traffic enforcers to keep EDSA carousel lane open for buses. However, the MMDA, with the cooperation of the Quezon City government, worked on a solution to allow vehicle traffic to flow smoothly at 2 U-turn slots while not hampering EDSA carousel bus operations. The solution, installing a signal light system at the U-turn slots in front of the Quezon City Academy and the one near Dario Bridge. During the ceremonial switch on of the lights, Chairman Abalos said this is part of the efforts to gear up for the holiday season when traffic volume is expected to increase. The signal lights will be in operation 24/7, he said. He added that the traffic lights will allow MMDA to reduce the number of traffic enforcers at the U-turn slots and deploy more at other problematic junctions on EDSA and other major thoroughfares. The installation of traffic lights at EDSA QC Academy and Dario Bridge U-turn slots is part of the Phase 5 traffic signalization project of the MMDA Traffic Engineering Center.
The signal lights should help keep the EDSA carousel lanes free for buses. It is hoped that motorists understand the need to keep those lanes clear where the U-turn slots are. The COVID-19 pandemic has prompted transport authorities to encourage the use of non-contact payment systems. The latest to be proposed is to use QR codes on mobile phones as tickets.
The Light Rail Manila Corporation, or LRMC, private operator of the LRT1 along with AF Payments Incorporated, recently presented proof of concept of its QR ticketing project to the DOTR and the Light Rail Transit Authority, or LRTA. The LRMC said the QR ticketing project is part of its digitalization strategy while boosting its Tap to Ride contactless commuting campaign to provide safer ways to pay for rides on the LRT1. The QR ticketing system will allow commuters to purchase Signal Journey tickets, or SJT, using mobile payment apps such as BPI Mobile, PayMaya, and GCash. The commuter can enter details that include origin, route, and destination in purchasing the SGT and get the QR code, which can then be scanned by QR acceptance terminals at select entry and exit gates of LRT1 stations. If approved for use by the DOTR and the LRTA, the QR ticketing system is planned to be implemented at the LRT1 by the first quarter of 2022.
Almost anyone now has a smartphone, and the use of QR codes could make it more convenient for commuters to pay for rides on the LRT1 without necessarily coming into contact with trained personnel. The EDSA carousel necessitates safer ways, including the use of pedestrian footbridges for passengers to get to the bus loading and unloading bays in the middle of EDSA. The latest among footbridges to be open for use is the one at the EDSA Buendia southbound.
The MMDS opened the new footbridge at EDSA Buendia southbound that will provide safe access to and from the new loading and unloading bay for the EDSA bus carousel in the area. The MMDA said the pedestrian footbridge connects to the existing MRT3 pedestrian overpass crossing EDSA southbound, which will serve those who are going to Makati Central Business District and vice versa. The new footbridge can also benefit commuters coming from Bonifacio Global City. It can be accessed from Makati Avenue or the southbound exit of the MRT3 Buendia station. It is the 125th footbridge that the MMDS built all over Metro Manila, which serves a total of approximately 3 million pedestrians daily. The MMDA says construction of footbridges at Tramo, Taft, and Ross Boulevard for the EDSA bus carousel is already underway.
The EDSA carousel has allowed faster turnaround of buses on the route from Monumento Station in Caloocan to the Parañaque Integrated Terminal Exchange. More footbridges are needed to make the EDSA carousel safer and more convenient to commuters. The DOTR continues to push initiatives to use e-vehicles and cashless bus operations while helping communities with their livelihoods in these difficult times.
The DOTR's turned over 25 electronic tricycles to the provincial government of Iloilo. At the turnover, Transportation Secretary Art Tugade said the e-trikes can be used to help with the livelihood, health, and safety of the people and communities in the province. This is a gift of love from the DOTR to Iloilo to help the people there earn a living and improve their lives, he added. The turnover followed the signing of Memorandum of Agreement with Iloilo City Lone District Representative Julian Barondo. Secretary Tugade said Iloilo will continue to grow in progress and the DOTR, along with the Department of Labor and Employment, will continue to do whatever they can to help the province. Also turned over were the first of so-called cashless buses that will be used to ply the Iloilo-Caticlan, Rojas, and Calibo route. Secretary Tugade said the operation of the cashless buses will help keep passengers safe from COVID-19. At the same time, Secretary Tugade and Labor Secretary Silvestre Bello III rolled out various initiatives and livelihood programs that the government is implementing to help people and communities overcome difficulties caused by the pandemic.
DOTR and DOLE continue to provide funds and programs to help those who lost jobs and livelihoods under the COVID-19 pandemic. Those are the latest news and developments in transportation and traffic management. Coming up next is Motoring Forum, brought to you by Suzuki Philippines. Motorcycle for Hire Regulation Act filed by Navotas Representative John Reynald Tiangco has been passed at the House Committee on Transportation. What this means is discussed in this edition of Motoring Forum.
Motorcycle taxi operations are closer to becoming legal, while they are authorized to operate in Metro Manila and in the cities of Cebu, General Santos, and Cagayan de Oro. This is only on a provisionary basis. Motorcycle taxis were allowed as a way to gather data on the safety and feasibility of their operations, while Congress acts on bills seeking to legalize this two-wheeled mode of public transport. But already, the House of Representatives Committee on Transportation has approved the Motorcycle for Hire Regulation Act filed by Navotas Representative John Reynald Tiangco. Representative Tiangco's bill consolidates 18 others that seek to regulate the use of motorcycles for hire or motorcycle taxis for public transportation. In defending his bill, Tiangco, who served as chairperson of the technical working group looking into the motorcycle taxi operations, said it is the object of this measure to bring this mode of transportation into proper regulation to ensure that regardless of its promising potential, the economic safety and other aspects of its operation are properly carried out. Under Tiangco's bill, the Department of Trade and Industry and the LTO will recommend the standards and specifications of motorcycles which can be used as a common carrier. The LTFRB, on the other hand, will oversee the franchising of motorcycles for hire, including the setting of fares. The bill also calls for mandatory use of digital platforms for hailing and availing of motorcycle taxis to prevent colorum operations, as well as providing more convenience and enhancing the safety and well-being of passengers. A provision in the bill sets the maximum speed for motorcycle taxi operation at 60 km per hour while still subjecting them to speed limits set by laws or ordinances at the local level. The bill will still have to be approved by the House in plenary before being sent to the Senate, which may also come out with its own version of a law on motorcycle taxis. After both chambers of Congress approve a consolidated bill, this will then be forwarded to the President for his approval. Laws for legitimizing motorcycle taxi operations have been percolating in Congress for a while now. Perhaps this is why the House Committee seems to be fast-tracking the measure filed by Tiangco. It would be interesting to see if senators are also moving at the same pace as the House to formally legalize motorcycle taxis.
There is a demand for motorcycle taxis in many urban areas, especially now under COVID-19 pandemic conditions. But this needs government regulation and supervision, and Congress needs to act on this soonest with safety and the interest of passengers as the highest priority. That's our Motoring Forum this week, courtesy of Suzuki Philippines.
I think my dad is secretly a superhero. He's the coolest, smartest, strongest person alive. No matter where we go, he always makes sure I feel safe. And he isn't afraid of anything. My dad likes to call that the power to lead. I call it his superpower.
The Mitsubishi Strada athlete, confident to the core.
Be part of the 2021-2022 Autofocus People's Choice Awards, the only nationwide poll to determine the country's most popular car brands and models. It's easy. Log on to bit.ly/AFPCA2021, then vote for as many as 5 different models that you believe should become the 2021-2022 Autofocus Automobile of the Year in separate, standard, and premium luxury categories. Vote every day until November 30, 2021. The Autofocus People's Choice Awards. Who will win? You choose, you decide. Vote now.
You're back with us here on Motoring Today. In line with our lifelong commitment to promote road safety, here is this week's road safety tip in cooperation with Toyota Motor Philippines.
Kadalasang makikita ang double solid yellow line sa mga tulay. Ang ibig sabihin nito ay bawal kang mag-overtake sa kahit anong oras dahil maaari kang maaksidente katulad ng ipinapakita sa animation. Roads that have double solid yellow lines are often busy, so be a responsible driver at huwag mag-overtake.
More motoring tips for you here on Motoring Today. Proper driver's demeanor while behind the wheel from Mitsubishi Motors Philippines.
Payong tsuper lang kaibigan. Ako si Jeffrey, isang kapwa nyo tsuper. Huwag mong hayaang may sumabit sa likuran ng iyong jeep.
Delikado ang may sabit sa jeep. Maaaring pagmulan ito ng aksidente at may masaktan o masawi. Kapag puno na sa loob at may gusto pang humabol, agad na pagbawalan upang disgrasya ay maiwasan.
Tandaan, kaligtasan bago ang anupaman. Ito po si Jeffrey Hamot, payong tsuper lang kaibigan mula sa isang kapwa nyo tsuper.
Be part of the 2021-2022 Autofocus People's Choice Awards, the only nationwide poll to determine the country's most popular car brands and models. It's easy. Log on to bit.ly/AFPCA2021, then vote for as many as 5 different models that you believe should become the 2021-2022 Autofocus Automobile of the Year in separate, standard, and premium luxury categories. Vote every day until November 30, 2021. The Autofocus People's Choice Awards. Who will win? You choose, you decide. Vote now.
The Mitsubishi Strada athlete, confident to the core.
Welcome back to Motoring Today. World of Motorsports is next. We start with the latest news and developments.
Automobile Association Philippines Motorsport Department, or AAP Motorsport, has launched the first national-level digital rally series in the Philippines. The AAP National Digital Rally Championship features more difficult challenges for participants competing using the fastest vehicles on the toughest rally stages found on the Dirt Rally 2.0 video game. Ivan Isada, AAP Motorsports manager, said that while following a similar format as previous digital seasons, the AAP National Digital Rally Championship will be more of a challenge to determine young rally aspirants who will be tested in difficult rally stages in varied vehicle types and drivetrains. AAP has also begun issuing competition licenses for digital motorsport, with all Filipino participants at the Digital Rally Championship getting a non-fungible e-license for free, with an option for a physical license card for a fee. The AAP said that the fourth and final leg of the Digital Rally Championship will be an international invitational digital rally event to be participated in by invited foreign racers from the Asia-Pacific region competing against the best Filipino rallyists in a live stream event. The overall winners of the Digital Rally Championship will be classified as the first ever Philippine National Digital Motorsport Champions. Rounds 5 and 6 of the 2021 Philippine Rallycross Series again drew another healthy number of entries to the dirt course at the Clark Field in Pampanga. Familiar names of rallycross racing were back again on podium places of various classes following another day and night of racing in the dirt. In round 5, JP Polintan had the quickest cumulative time in Group 1, recording a time that was around 6 seconds quicker than that of Noli Tino in second place. Choi Mabunay was third. Louis Camacho was the best driver in Group 2 for the round, besting Polintan, who was second. Paul Santos turned in the third best cumulative time in the group. It was the turn of Steve Akayan to shine in Group 3 of Round 5 competition, turning aside the challenge of Santos, who finished in third place ahead of Gerald Lim in third. Akayan also topped the Group 4 competition with Santos again back in second, less than a couple of seconds quicker than George Apacible in third. Patrick Nang, Dindo de Jesus, and Mon de Mapilis made up the podium of the opening class in round 5, first, second, and third respectively. Nang was also fastest in the UV class in round 5, joined on the podium by de Mapilis in second and Alan Sarmiento in third. Nang just beat Sarmiento to again top the overall timesheet in the AWD class, with de Mapilis finding himself in familiar surroundings in the third place. The RWD class saw Dindo de Jesus finally get on top of the timesheets of round 5, joined on the podium by Easy Ligaya in second and June Magno in third. In round 6 held in the dark, Pino outdueled Mabunay in one-on-one fight in Group 1. Just as in the morning round, Camacho was quickest in Group 2 in the evening with Santos in second and Edsel de Dios in third. Then Camacho also proved quickest in Group 3 in the evening stage. Santos again finished second in the group while round 5 winner Akayan dropped to third. He did better competing in Group 4, edging Santos for first place with Apacible finishing a far third. Nang continued to rule the open class in the dark with de Mapilis climbing to second and Apacible ending up as third man on the podium. Nang did the same in the UV class as well as in the AWD class. De Mapilis remained in second in the UV class with Sarmiento in third. He was second in the AWD class in round 6 with de Mapilis in third. Finally, in the RWD class, De Jesus outdid both Ligaya, who ended up second, and third place man Magno.
More in the world of motorsports here on Motoring Today, as we now give you Race Weekend. Local motorsports is slowly but surely going back into the groove of racing. Race Weekend covers the highlights and sidelights of rounds 5 and 6 of the 2021 Philippine Rallycross Series. We're here in Clark Global City in Pampanga for legs 5 and 6 of the Philippine Rallycross Series. Let's go check it out. It has been weeks and months since the Philippine Rallycross Series held rounds 3 and 4 at the Clark Global City. Back then, everyone was thinking that the coast was clear for motorsports to resume, with government easing restrictions to get communities and the economy up and moving anew. But the quarantine protocols were again tightened, and holding motorsports events was again not allowed, as a more dangerous variant of COVID-19 reportedly was causing a surge in the number of cases. Weeks passed, then months, before the government and health authorities announced motorsports would now be allowed in areas where restrictions had again been eased. Soon after the announcement, the 2021 Philippine Rallycross Series resumed with rounds 5 and 6 at the Clark Global City. It was all the Rallycross racers could do to contain their excitement and happiness at being back at Clark.
Siyempre, very excited kami na nag-continue itong Rallycross. Ilaw na nagkaroon ng konting effect sa pandemic, medyo natagalan yung next races. Kaya nung nagkaroon na races, siyempre happy kami.
Para kang preso na nakawala. Kasi dito lang namin nagagawa talaga yung gusto namin gawin. Na to get wild, saka up to the extreme. Yun ang ano kasi namin, hilig namin. 4x4 at saka ito.
Some were relieved to be finally given the opportunity to be out in the field and the open air to have fun doing something they love like racing.
Actually, it's a relief for us. I usually don't go out of the house if it's not for work. So I've really accumulated all my free time just for this. So the preparation for the cars, like we spend how many days preparing the cars. So I use all of my spare time for that, and especially for the race days.
Well, after a long hiatus of racing, finally, after a few months, we've concluded our series again. And from there on, we're just very glad that we resumed racing again.
Even after the long break, the series got back to the groove. Competition is broken into several groups and classes, depending on make and model, powertrain, and drivetrain. Racers can compete in multiple classes, hence the same names on different groups and classes or category. Each entry is given 3 timed runs around the course, with the best 2 of 3 recorded times added to determine ranking. Round 5 is the daytime stage. Round 6 is held after the sun goes down. The entries love the challenges and the provided course which got more challenge as the day wore on.
Mas organized to ngayon. Maganda yung patakbo nila. And I give them thumbs up for that. Sa third run ko, sobra na eh. Bugbog na yung kalsada. So, you have to adjust. Kailangan ilabas mo dun sa mga, alam mong lulubog ka, bababaong ka dahil sa bugbog na track. Kailangan mo rin ng gamitan ng konting conservative type of diving.
It's really a different experience driving in the dirt because you have changing conditions. Like today, you're starting in tarmac, so you have more grip. There's a long stretch, and then you enter the dirt part. Once you enter the dirt part, there's lots of varying conditions. So, like in the first few runs today, the track was improving, and then on the third run, we see a lot of the deterioration. So most of the cars are losing about probably 3 to 8 seconds depending on the setup. So, but yeah, it's really fun. It's a really good experience.
Now it's getting worse, but more exciting kasi you have to choose where's the path para doon ka dadaan. Mas masarap. Yun nga lang problema sa team na kami. Puro kotse sila, ako lang yung UV. At saka all-wheel drive.
Also happy that the 2021 PHRX season is back on track is Isuzu Philippines, which has entered a team in competition to showcase the capabilities of the D-Max as it competes in various categories, including the UV and 4-wheel drive classes.
We're here with one of Isuzu's top executives, Mr. Joseph Bautista. Hi, sir. Good to see you here.
Good to see you. So, it's been a long time.
Yes, indeed, sir. Can you just give us an idea of Isuzu's participation here in the Philippine Rallycross Championship?
Okay, it's happy to be here. It's race weekend. We are here at Clark Global City to participate in the Philippine Rallycross Series at the 2021 edition. In the past, we joined as observer, but this time we are officially fielding in 2 teams to participate because we would like to showcase the capabilities of the all-new Isuzu D-Max right here at Nata. So it's good, but because the 2-kilometer route, we will be able to test the D-Max in terms of on-road and off-road, and of course the stability because the roads are quite winding, and then it's very, very challenging. So we're very happy to showcase how the D-Max performs in this particular race.
Driving for the Isuzu team is Mondi Mapilis, who was found transitioning from competing in cars to the D-Max pickup, challenging but fun.
Well, it's really a big jump, no? In terms of handling, the height especially. But then again, lahat pwede mong sagasaan ngayon eh. Kasi mas malaki ka, mas malaki ang gulong mo, mas matangkad ka. Pero ibang-iba yung terms of speed kasi for the past years talagang automatic transmission ang ginagamit ko ngayon. For the past years, ang ginagamit ko is manual, no? Pero ngayon, 4-wheel drive. Pero, well, quite adapting to it and continuous learning.
Even before this leg of the 2021 PHRX was even done, when asked, the racer said they were already thinking of the next rounds, which they hope won't again be postponed by the COVID-19 pandemic.
Of course, yeah. I'm running. I think I'm in contention in my group, so I have to race again.
Of course, yes. So, indeed, oo. Kasi, kumbaga sa parang family outing na namin to. Ganun.
Well, of course, yes. With Isuzu D-Max behind me, we have developed this program, and we keep on developing the vehicle suited for rallycross.
Isuzu is also looking forward to participating in more rounds.
Since racing is back, are you looking forward to supporting again the Philippine Rallycross series in the next legs coming?
Yeah, we hope to, because I think this type of race really proves how dependable and how durable and how fast the DMAX is because I think it's a time trial that course, and we so far we're getting very good result with the reports of our drivers.
And that's our coverage for rounds 5 and 6 of the Philippine Rallycross Series here in Clark Global City in Pampanga. Be sure to check us out next week for more race weekend action. Wearing masks and social distancing are surely not affecting how rallycross drivers, teams, and enthusiasts are enjoying themselves getting back to competition. And that's this week's World of Motorsports. Motoring Today continues right after this break.
I think my dad is secretly a superhero. He's the coolest, smartest, strongest person alive. No matter where we go, he always makes sure I feel safe. And he isn't afraid of anything. My dad likes to call that the power to lead. I call it his superpower.
Suzuki Ertiga.
Life is beating fast. Find what you're waiting for.
Seven-seater in style.
Be part of the 2021-2022 Autofocus People's Choice Awards, the only nationwide poll to determine the country's most popular car brands and models. It's easy. Log on to bit.ly/AFPCA2021, then vote for as many as 5 different models that you believe should become the 2021-2022 Autofocus Automobile of the Year in separate, standard, and premium luxury categories. Vote every day until November 30, 2021. The Autofocus People's Choice Awards. Who will win? You choose, you decide. Vote now.
Live extra
with the Mitsubishi Xpander Cross.
Welcome back to Motoring Today. The auto industry now takes center stage.
Nissan Philippines and the Department of Tourism, or DOT, have renewed a partnership aimed at promoting the idea that traveling for leisure can be safe even under current restrictions imposed by the government because of the COVID-19 pandemic. In the second run of their Safe Trips campaign, Nissan and DOT again aim to show how to travel responsibly and enjoy local tourist attractions while keeping safe against the COVID-19 contagion. The Safe Trips campaign also aims to support local businesses and ramp up awareness for sustainable tourism in such places as Boracay, where the ceremonial signing of the renewed Nissan-DOT partnership was held.
The renewal of our partnership with Nissan is very significant because there are still a lot of places around the Philippines that have yet to be explored and promoted. This campaign has helped the department tremendously in not only promoting the local destinations, the products, and of course, the activities that tourists can enjoy, but it also promoted responsibility when traveling.
According to Atsushi Najima, President and Managing Director of Nissan Philippines, this year's Safe Trips drive showed that safety and responsibility are not obstacles to enjoying the beautiful destinations of the Philippines. In fact, they are important factors that make your trip a more enjoyable experience for you and your loved ones, he said.
Partnership with Department of Tourism is very critical for us. We have two intents. One is to help Filipinos to rediscover the beautiful locations in the Philippines and also help revitalize the tourism industry, which will lead the economy recovery in the Philippines.
Najima-san was describing the 12-hour land and sea journey to Boracay Island in the updated Nissan lineup of vehicles participated in by select media, influencers, and DOT representatives to promote and demonstrate long-distance land travel as a fun and exciting way to reach popular local destinations. The road trip featured the Nissan Navara, Terra, Almera, and the Leaf. Highlighting the Boracay segment of the Safe Trip drive was a demonstration of the benefits that the Leaf can provide for sustainable tourism before the island's hotel and resort executives, members of the Electric Vehicle Association of the Philippines, the DOT, and the local government leaders of Aklan. Eco-runs are frequently held by local automakers and distributors looking to highlight the fuel-thrifty nature of their vehicles powered by internal combustion engines. But the Eco-Run, organized by the Electric Vehicle Association of the Philippines or EVAP, the Department of Energy or DOE, and EV car manufacturers sought to promote use of electric vehicles and drum up support for legislation aimed to help the industry grow. The Eco-Run drew 20 participants, including a number of local EV owners and local distributors of EVs, as well as DOE Director Patrick Aquino himself. From the starting point at DOE office in Taguig, participants were given a choice of running either a north or south leg. The objective was to run from starting point and follow a set route that will take the EVs to various charging stations along the way. The Eco-Run was supported, among others, by Pilipinas Auto Group, local distributor of Dongfeng vehicles that include EVs, BYD, Delta, Wallbox, a maker of EV chargers, and the Electric Vehicle Owner Society. According to EVAP President Ed Araga, part of the advocacy for accelerating the switch to EVs and the growth of charging infrastructure is to showcase EVs and their access to charging stations. Director Aquino, for his part, said the department is very much committed to see more electric vehicles on local roads. He urged EV industry stakeholders to support legislation to promote, legalize, and build the necessary EV ecosystem in the country. There are now 110 EV charging stations in the Philippines. Car enthusiasts finally had a treat after almost 2 years without a motor show. In fact, it was a triple treat. Sophie De Los Santos put on all her annual shows into one: the Transport Show, the Manila Auto Salon, and the Sport Truck Show.
Well, we missed 1 year, no? 2020, because I have these 3 shows in a year separately, but it's the clamor of the car enthusiasts and the sport truck enthusiasts. They want to see it, no? But I can't afford to hold it separately, and it's very risky as well. So I decided to combine all 3. You see the features of Transport Show here. We have a few classic cars and old school cars, and then of course the features of the Manila Auto Salon. We have more of those because these are the modified vehicles. And of course a sport truck show. As you see, we have several SUVs.
Held at the SMX Convention Center of the SM Mall of Asia in Pasay, the triple treat drew a good-sized crowd despite the restrictions on capacity. There were fewer show cars and stalls, and the aisles were laid out wider, but all this made a visit all the more interesting. Sophie's hoping to stage her motor shows next year as the country and economy opens up more.
Hopefully, I can go back to holding the Transport Show in May, and the last 2 in November. But of course, wait and see again. I have to wait and see, but I will never stop planning. That's the key.
Kia Alabang is the first local dealership to showcase Kia's new store design, highlighted by the new logo that represents the Korean carmaker's new global movement that inspires campaign. Closely following Kia Philippines' brand relaunch, Kia Alabang was formally inaugurated as the first local dealership to embody the brand's global transformation.
Iconic Dealership Inc. was given the privilege under AC Motors to be the first Kia dealership in the country to have the new global corporate identity of Kia. This is the new standard of Kia showrooms globally. And we're very happy here in Kia Alabang to be the very first one to have such kind of showroom.
Kia Alabang is strategically located in one of the most vibrant convergences of the urban and suburban markets in the Calabarzon socio-economic region, where the rapid pace of progress is tempered with slow, deliberate countryside lifestyle, according to Bob Palangka, Chief Operating Officer of Iconic Dealership Incorporated, or IDI, the multi-brand automotive dealer group that is a wholly owned subsidiary of AC Motors, an Ayala company. This is the perfect market landscape to highlight Kia's focus on customer experience and complements its quality and stylish products, Palangka adds. Expect more dealerships to follow Kia Alabang's lead and adapt global Kia's new store identity, says Manny Aligada, president of Kia Philippines.
We have over 40 dealerships nationwide. Currently, there are 2 that are going up
and those will carry the new corporate identity, as we call the CI of the Kia brands.
Kia Alabang is only the beginning of the brand's reinvention following the launch of Kia's new brand purpose, he adds. Kia's goal is to constantly provide memorable customer experiences while creating various programs to aim to continuously strengthen the knowledge and skills of all its teams to better serve its valued customers, says Aligada. The 11th dealership under the IDI Group and the 4th for the Kia brand, Kia Alabang, is located along Alamang Zapote Road, corner Acacia Avenue, Madrigal Business Park, Muntinlupa City.
We have just launched our Kia brand, the new intentions movement that inspires program, and all of that is centered on the customer, and we are ready to welcome you into all our dealerships nationwide. So please come and visit.
Our car of the week is next on Showcase, courtesy of Prudential Guarantee. An earlier edition of Showcase checked out the new Maxus D60 Elite. Maxus Philippines' entry into the tight 7-seater compact SUV crossover market. This time is the turn of the Maxus D60 Pro, the 5-seater variant.
Maxus Philippines brought in the D60, a nominally compact SUV, to compete price-wise in the subcompact segment, now one of the hottest in the country in terms of vehicle sales. The D60 arrived in two variants, the Elite, a 7-seater that should fit nicely as a family vehicle, and the Pro, a 5-seater SUV that should do well for those looking for a comfortable daily drive in the city and a competent weekend ride. The Maxus D60 Pro, like the Elite, is 4,720mm long, 1,860mm wide, and 1,736mm tall, with a 2,760mm wheelbase. It may be a little hard to tell the Pro from the Elite by looking from the outside. The 5-seater comes with a black radiator grille with silver highlights as well as 17-inch alloy wheels and two 1565 R17 tires, while the 7-seater features a distinctive cobweb grille design and 18-inch alloy rims with two 3555 R18 tires. Like the Elite, the Pro comes with roof rails, daylight running lights, a rear fog lamp, rear window defogger, but the auto headlights on the 5-seater comes in halogen instead of LED, and the side view mirrors power adjust but do not power fold. The Maxus D60 Pro interior is not as feature-packed as the Elite, but it comes with enough of the comfort and convenience features to make it a good value for money. The D60 Pro is equipped with power windows, central door locking, manual air conditioning with rear aircon vents, a multi-function steering wheel, even cruise control, but not the keyless entry with push start that comes with the Elite. But both share the same infotainment system with 8-inch touchscreen display, USB and Bluetooth connectivity, and 6 speakers. The Pro features sporty fabric upholstery for the seats. The driver's seat manually adjusts 6 ways. The front passenger seat just slides and reclines. The second row seat for 3 split 60/40 slides and reclines and comes with center armrest. Underneath the hood of the Maxus D60 is a 1,490cc 4-cylinder turbocharged and intercooled gasoline engine with direct fuel injection that generates 169 PS at 5,500 revolutions per minute and 250 Nm of torque from 1,700 to 4,300 RPM. The engine powers the front wheels via a 7-speed dual-clutch automatic transmission that provides smooth gear changes. The D60 engine provides a good balance of performance and fuel efficiency that make it both a fun and practical ride. The multi-function steering wheel feels both light and responsive with electronic power steering. The suspension system features McPherson struts in front and multi-link system in the rear. The brake system comes with discs on all 4 wheels. They work to give the D60 a fairly comfortable and stable ride on city streets and country roads. Helping give confidence for a safe ride and drive, the D60 comes with standard safety features in driver assist tech that include driver and front passenger airbags, side airbags, 3-point seat belts for 5 and ISOFIX. A reverse camera plus rear parking sensors make it safer and easier to park the D60, especially in tight and crowded parking lots. The D60 Pro also comes with electronic parking brake with auto hold. electronic stabilization program, emergency brake assist plus hill hold control, tire pressure monitoring system, and immobilizer.
There's not much that separates the Maxus D60 Elite and Pro, aside from the number of seats. There's great expectation in the Maxus camp that both will do well in a crowded market for SUVs and crossovers. That's our featured vehicle on this week's showcase, courtesy of Prudential Guarantee.
Drive worry-free with Prudential Guarantee's auto insurance program with a free 24-hour nationwide roadside assistance included with your comprehensive auto insurance. Rest assured, we'll take care of you and your car wherever you are. Prudential Guarantee's auto insurance program, 100% worry-free driving.
I think my dad is secretly a superhero. He's the coolest, smartest, strongest person alive. No matter where we go, he always makes sure I feel safe. And he isn't afraid of anything. My dad likes to call that the power to lead. I call it his superpower.
Be part of the 2021-2022 Autofocus People's Choice Awards, the only nationwide poll to determine the country's most popular car brands and models. It's easy. Log on to bit.ly/AFPCA2021, then vote for as many as 5 different models that you believe should become the 2021-2022 Autofocus Automobile of the Year in separate, standard, and premium luxury categories. Vote every day until November 30, 2021. The Autofocus People's Choice Awards. Who will win? You choose, you decide. Vote now.
All-new Isuzu Mu X. Take the lead.
The Mitsubishi Strada athlete, confident to the core.
We now have our segment that dwells on the wide array of motoring problems, not only in the metro, but all over the country as well. This is where we present problems referred to us or we ourselves see and hope to fully find solutions for. Our public service segment is next.
Now that the increase in passenger capacity in public transportation has been approved, many are still airing concerns on the assurance that everyone is following the health and safety protocols to help prevent the spread of COVID-19. There has always been a delicate balance of keeping the economy moving and the community safe. The gradual increase in passenger capacity will be from 70% to a full 100%. The Department of Transportation and the Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board have set the number of passengers allowed in modern jeeps, buses, UV Express shuttles, and on trains. But are we really ready for this move? We had a few questions in mind we hoped to be answered by authorities. Fortunately, the transportation agencies held a press conference and these were answered. For instance, how can we ensure that operators, drivers, and conductors are properly implementing this?
Minute po natin ang mga operators ng bus at saka mga jeepneys upang ma-inform na po sila kung paano po i-implement natin ito. Minute naman po natin ang interagency enforcement agencies natin na magsasagawa po ng enforcement nitong ating increased seating capacity.
On enforcement, ASEC Pastor explained that the number of enforcers are low in the metro alone, but he stressed that the department is working to solve this already.
Dito sa National Capital Region alone, nasa 40,000 po, 40 to 50,000 ang ating mga traditional jeepneys at may 4,600 tayong mga police. Ngayon, ang enforcers po natin sa IAC ay sa mahigit 300 lamang po at ang LTO po sa NCR ay may 200 plus lamang. Lubang kulang po talagang aming enforcers kung kaya't ito po ay ating hinihingan ng budget ngayon sa Kongreso. Patuloy pa rin mag-random inspection ang ating mga enforcers.
We do hope that the COVID-19 cases will remain low and the increase in passenger capacity in public transportation will not lead to rise in cases anew. So let this also be a reminder that we are still in a pandemic and it's important to still continue to be safe and healthy at all times.
That's our public service segment this week. And should you yourself encounter motoring problems that need immediate attention, please feel free to contact us. See the details being flashed on your screen. And that's the week that was in motoring. Thank you for joining us. Also, please don't forget to check us out on social media.
Until next week here on Motoring Today, now on its 35th year of continuing service to the general motoring public with a lifelong commitment to promote road safety. On behalf of our dad, Butch Gamboa, I'm Ray Louie Gamboa.
And I'm Susie Gamboa.
Happy
Happy motoring!